My name is Jeffrey Bean. I'm the Managing Director of the U.S. Conference of Mayors Partner America program, and I'm really pleased to be here with this great weather. Now, the good thing that happened to me today is all of a sudden I get an email from American Airlines saying my flight's been canceled. And typically, I'm kind of bummed out. I'm happy as could be because I'm seeing myself 80-degree weather. And, you know, I have nothing to do this afternoon but enjoy Phoenix. So I'm excited. I have a flight out tomorrow, and I just have to explain to my wife I'm stuck here in 80-degree weather while she's back there with 6 to 7 inches of snow shoveling. So that's it. But for those of you who are not familiar with the U.S. Conference of Mayors, it's been around for about 87 years, and it's comprised of mayors with a population of 30,000 and greater. The conference is a nonpartisan organization. We get things done. The primary role of the conference is to promote the development of effective national urban policy in areas like education, transportation, immigration, and energy, to name a few. The conference also helps to strengthen federal-city relationship by having meetings with the administration, Congress, along with cabinet members to push forth agenda and priorities on behalf of the cities. It provides mayors with leadership and management tools, and most importantly, it's a forum in which mayors can share information and ideas. We just recently had our winter meeting in D.C. and had your Senator Flake, speak to us. But it's always a good time for mayors to get together with cabinet members and other mayors to hear what's going on. We're fortunate to have your mayor as a very active member of our organization. Mayor Stanton is the chair of our Committee on Environment. He also serves on the Tourism, Arts, Parks, Entertainment, and Sports Committee. And he's a member of the Task Force on Immigration Reform and the Task Force on Technology and Innovation. We're here this morning to celebrate the success of small business in Phoenix and to recognize your mayor for his outstanding support and efforts on behalf of the small business community. Small business is big business here in Phoenix. Mayor Stanton has helped create a business-friendly environment here in Phoenix, making it easier to start and grow a business. He's helped many new entrepreneurs fulfill their dreams and start their own businesses. Some of the efforts undertaken by Mayor Stanton to promote and help small businesses are, under Mayor Stanton's leadership, Phoenix was named one of the top 5 in the nation for creating small business opportunities and opening doors for entrepreneurs, according to the National Federation of Independent Businesses. NFIB specifically recognized the city in its recent steps to improve the efficiency and make it easier to do business with the city. Phoenix now offers a 24 online permitting system, unlike any other city. In 2014, the city launched its first business incubator, Hive at Central. The Hive at Central has served more than 36,000 people and has helped launch 93 startups and created 139 jobs. Under Mayor Stanton's leadership, the city also adopted a shop local policy that streamlines the city procurement process, giving priority to local businesses. The value of procurement contracts to local businesses went from $50,000 to more than $2.3 million in 2 years. The work Mayor Stanton has done has received national attention by the Entrepreneur magazine, naming Phoenix one of the top 10 startup-friendly cities in America, and also by the Department of Transportation naming Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport as the #1 airport in the country for new small businesses. Mayor Stanton has truly been a champion of the small business owners, and today the U.S. Conference of Mayors and the Partner America program are proud to recognize him for his efforts. On behalf of the President of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, Mitch Landrieu of New Orleans, and our Executive Director, Tom Cochran, I am pleased to present your mayor with the 2018 Small Business Advocate Award.
All right, thank you, Jeff, very much for that kind award. We really appreciate here in the city of Phoenix, and I accept that award not just on behalf of myself, but great members of our city council, including Councilwoman Debra Stark, who is here, and our great leaders of small business who will say a few words in just a moment. And Debra Stark not only is a great member of our city council, but she was our planning director and permitting director at the time we made all the changes that allowed us to have those 24-hour permits, in part where we won that award. So we owe her a special debt of gratitude. Let's give Councilwoman Stark another big round of applause. And I also want to say thank you to the U.S. Conference of Mayors. You went over what the organization does, what it represents, et cetera. But from my perspective, cities are where the action is at. It's where the jobs are being created, where innovation is happening. And it's important, especially now with the current administration, that we do have an active advocacy organization on behalf of cities. Because when cities do well, and when small business does well in those cities, the United States of America does well. So it's critically important that the U.S. Conference of Mayors grows and thrives. This recognition is shared, as I mentioned, with my colleagues on the City Council, with our dedicated city staff, all of whom share our shared priority to make it as easy as possible to do business with the city of Phoenix. We know in Phoenix that the key to building a healthy and strong economy is supporting our locally owned businesses and supporting our great local entrepreneurs. When we shop local in Phoenix, we support those small businesses. We help create good paying jobs. Just recently, last month, a study showed that the Phoenix area small locally owned businesses led the country in wage growth. And shopping local and small does boost our local economy. Those dollars are invested right back at our local economy 4 times over. At the city, we have made smart decisions and policies that lift up small businesses and help them succeed. Business moves fast. So we simplified the permitting and streamlined outdated processes. And we did that in a bipartisan, that was a unanimous vote of our council, led by Councilwoman Stark. Online permitting is efficient. It saves business owners valuable time so they can get to work. And we hear over and over again as businesses who interact with Phoenix and other cities say how Phoenix is best in class when it comes to the swiftness and efficiency of our permitting process. For business owners looking to open up and shop in older buildings, we offer development guidance and cost savings through our adaptive reuse initiative, an award-winning initiative process to reuse older buildings. By the way, the most sustainable building is a reused building. We take a historic building and put it back to life. That's the most sustainable thing we can do. For businesses looking to grow the reach across international borders, and we're blessed to be a border state here in Arizona, we coach those businesses on export processes and show them how to access new markets through our one-of-a-kind export readiness boot camps. We make sure that our businesses go from export curious to export serious, and that's big business for us here in Phoenix. And for new business owners just starting out, they can find the help that they need to set up shop right in our public library. Public libraries throughout Phoenix. The Hive at Central offers entrepreneurs resources for free in both English and Espanol. Phoenix is blessed with a bright, innovative community of local entrepreneurs across every industry, from technology to finance, healthcare, dining, retail, so much more. And we have some of those exceptional leaders with us here today. Small business owners and their hardworking employees represent the best of our city, and we are proud to support them. They make our city a special place to live. Shopping small preserves our unique neighborhoods, creates personal connections, and fosters pride in our city. So again, on behalf of myself, my colleagues on the council, our great city staff, but most importantly, our small locally owned businesses, we want to thank the U.S. Conference of Mayors and Partner America for this important recognition. We're very proud today.
Thanks again, Mayor. Next, we're going to have, as the Mayor said, our Debra Cruz Award 3 City Councilor.
Thank you so much. And we call them districts here, not wards. You can tell you're from Massachusetts. But thank you. I am so excited to be here today because, as you know, my career was in planning and development. And this mayor, he cares about small business. He really does. When he was first elected, we were starting our task force to look at ways to streamline the process. And he was newly elected, sat down with me and said, let's do it. And we got it done. Thank you so much, Mayor. Yes. It was a lot of work, too, because our task force was over 140 people. So it was very, very grueling at times, trying to bring that many personalities together and get things done. But Mayor Stanton did that. And then after that, after I left, I retired. I think that's why I retired. No, I'm just kidding. After I retired, the mayor also looked out for small business once again and started a financial assistance program, which is widely used by moms and pops trying to start out with their business. Most of these small businesses, they have a one-time experience with the city, and we want to make sure it really does work for them. It is so critical for us that they have a great experience coming to the city of Phoenix. But let me tell you a little bit more about the mayor and how much she cares about small business. I have a brewery in my district, North Mountain Brewery. A few years ago, after they opened, they asked the councilman at the time, Bill Gates, to come help brew a beer. And he said, you know what would be fun is let's have the mayor come along too. And so they created a beer. Every year now, we brew it. It's the nonpartisan pale ale. And guess what? It sells like that. Thank you, Mayor. I didn't know you knew how to do beer so well. But he rolls up his sleeves, and he gets with the owner of the brewery, and they, with Bill Gates, and I got to do it last year with you guys, they create a beer that is widely popular in our city. So he really does care about small businesses.
No commission.
And he gets no commission. But I'll buy you a beer next year, okay? But really, he does care that much that he'll roll up his sleeves and promote our small businesses. And I really appreciate that about the mayor. Thank you again. You're a great leader.
I thought you was going to go get a bottle of it and bring it up, but, Next, we want to hear from Phil Potter, who's with the Armory. Phil?
Good morning. My name is Philip Potter, and I'm the founder of the Armory Incubator, and we help military veterans launch and scale startups here in Phoenix. In late 2015, I was enjoying breakfast when I got a phone call very early one morning, and I answered it, and on the other end, I heard, Phil, this is Greg Stanton. I'm the mayor of Phoenix. I understand you're trying to help veterans become business owners. What can I do to assist? I wasn't quite sure it was really him because I'd never met him before. And I said, well, we are trying to put together some programs and some services, but Mayor, we're starting with one event. Because as entrepreneurs, we don't want to go too far in before we've tested what's called proof of concept. We want to know if there's any support out there. So we were going to hold an event about 2 months after that, 3 days, some venture capitalist friends of mine, and we were going to try to rig the room. We were going to fly in some pretty outstanding veterans who wanted to be technology founders from as far away as Hawaii and Vermont. I said, Mayor, we could probably use some help with the venue. If you know anybody who might want to sponsor, anybody who might want to spend some time with us before, during, and after, that would be great. And his response was, I'm on it. And later that afternoon, my phone started ringing again from his staff, from the Department of Economic Development. They said, we're not kidding, we want to help. And they did. And a couple months later, we held that event. And the mayor was gracious enough to actually provide the opening remarks. And in his usual genuine and gregarious tone, he set the pace for us. And then he surprised me in a good way. He ended by saying, thanks for coming to Phoenix. We want to be the national epicenter of veteran entrepreneurship. Now, I'm thinking proof of concept on small scale. Mayor Stanton was thinking he wanted to take over the country. Now, there was a staffer sitting next to me, and I looked over to her and I said, did you know he was going to say that? And she looked at me and said, nope. But I understood very quickly that the mayor wasn't just providing some cheerleading services. He wanted us to succeed. He called me in a week later and said, hey, I want you to think about a deeper conversation. I don't want just programs and services for veterans. We value our veterans. We don't see veterans as liabilities. We see veterans as economic assets, and we've got a lot of them here, and they're not put to full use. So don't just give me programs and services. How about a facility? I said, well, if you help, we can look into that. In fact, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I didn't think we were going to be there yet. In fact, the strategic plan, that was year 2, not month 2. And he said, I'm on it, I'll help. And a few months later, I was holding the keys to the nation's first incubator facility dedicated solely to veteran entrepreneurs here in downtown. He came and helped us launch that as well. And we were off to the races with about a dozen veteran-led startups and products, services, and technologies, betting solely on the veteran status, not betting on the business plan, because all of you small business owners know that that plan's going to fail. It's just the nature of the beast. You better be able to adjust and move forward. At the Armory, we want to help find those fantastic entrepreneurs, make sure they don't make critical mistakes, and try to set them up for success, whatever that is. Some knowledge services, some introductions to capital sources, maybe some clients, and give them a co-working space where they have the key, they can come and go as they please. So 2017 came and just recently went, and from that morning conversation, and trust me, I love my morning coffee, but I don't expect that sort of conversation. In 2017, those dozen companies were covered by Forbes magazine, TechCo, Bloomberg, Politico. They've done some amazing work. The bet on the veterans that the mayor made is paying off. A couple of them are here right now. I'll point them out. Kiran Rajbandari is the head of Easy Dump Commercial. They're a product design company focused on ergonomic products. Raj is the head of a company that ranks number 283 in Entrepreneur Magazine's Hot 360 Startup list. Jesse Weston is sitting right next to him. Jesse's in charge of urban work design. That's a civil engineering and landscape architecture firm. Jesse has commercial and residential projects, great contracts, doing some amazing work, including over here on Roosevelt Row, to help make sure that the future of our development is sustainable. He's doing fantastic work. And right next to him is Jeremy Goki. Jeremy is the head of AMPC. AMPC is a technology company. That technology company provides marketing analytics platforms for global brands and events you might have heard of, including last week's Super Bowl, and and before then, a little thing called the World Economic Forum in Davos. In December of this past year, Jeremy's company closed a $3 million capital raise. Jeremy's in charge of an 8-figure company. Those are just some of the early success stories. From my standpoint, I was just trying to help some folks succeed. Mayor Stanton stepped in and said, no, you need to think even bigger, and we're pretty big thinking folks as military veterans. So in 2018 here, we've landed several hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants, and we're going to go from a dozen startups to 40, Mayor. And our goal is exactly what you put in front of us. We want to be the national epicenter of veteran entrepreneurship. So, Mayor, thank you for all your assistance, and congratulations on your award.
Well, it's pretty exciting. Our next speaker is Cindy Dash, who's from Changing Hands Bookstore, the co-owner. Cindy?
Hi, I first met Mayor Stanton back when he was a councilman, and politics and common sense have always clashed for me. And I had coffee with the mayor, then councilman, and he sat down and I asked him some hard questions. And one of the things that was astounding to me was he would even say at the moment, these are brutal facts. And I'm going to explain to you how politics works and how common sense works and how they can work together. And it was actually a turning point for me because it was one of the very first times I spoke to a politician who I felt was very honest, didn't speak down to me, and delivered brutal facts in a way that I could understand them, but also say, but here's what we can do. And that, strangely enough, was a unique moment for me. At that time, we were opening an art space on Roosevelt Row. We were opening a little boutique and a gallery, and none of it made sense except for the people doing the work. And we had some very rough years together. But now we're Roosevelt Row, and we're getting national attention for what we are, and artists are still mostly at the forefront of the situation. So of course when Councilman Stanton at that time ran for mayor, it made finally common sense was coming into play. I'm part of Changing Hands Bookstore, which is a 44-year-old independent bookstore. We started in Tempe, but yet we weren't in Phoenix. And people kept asking us to come to Phoenix, and we kept trying to find the location. And the thing about bookstores is we are not the typical tenant. We are one of the few businesses that actually, when our product arrives to us, the price is already on it. So it's a struggle. And we looked for a location for 8 years. And every time I'd see the mayor, he would say, when are you opening the store? When? I want to buy books. I want to go. I have kids. I have to get birthday presents, which he does regularly now. But finally we found the Newton, which is a historic steakhouse. And this was a very scary endeavor. We are a city known for new, but this was an old building. And one of the things that I have most learned to appreciate about our mayor is he doesn't say new is better than old, which so much of our city is known for. He says new and old are better. And he doesn't say small is better or local is better. It is, and he does say that privately. But what he does say is and, new, small and large, local and national. And that's sometimes been a hard lesson to learn, but it's the brutal facts that the mayor has always led me through. And then we did something really unique. We decided that our bookstore, our independent bookstore, needed beer and wine. And I do want people in Phoenix to know how lucky they are, because I get calls from all over the country that say, how did you do this? And sadly, for our country, liquor law is state by state. So we have a beer wine store, and I believe the mayor, that was the very first opening you had where you actually had a glass of beer as you cut the ribbon to our store, and that was in a bookstore, not a bar. So we've been able to say what if, and our mayor has led the way of saying what if and let's do it. And that is very unique, and we are so fortunate. We are proud. Our Phoenix location is about to turn 4. We've hosted politicians, President Carter. We've hosted, back in the day, we hosted Senator Obama, who was then a senator. And also, we've hosted all the members of KISS, which is a whole separate story that I won't tell on a microphone. But it's the leadership of a man who says, what if? And why not? And that's what we have here in Phoenix. So thank you.
Thank you. Now, for all you foodies in the audience, we've saved the best for last. We have Leticia and Jose Gomez, owner of the vegan Mexican food truck. You've probably seen it already, but they're going to share their story here.
Me first? Okay. Well, my name is Jose, and we started Mi Vegana Madre in 2015. And first, I want to thank Jessica, at the Hive, Mayor Stanton, the city of Phoenix. About 95% of the business that we do is in the city of Phoenix because of how business-friendly they are. So Mi Vegana Madre was born in our hearts and in our minds, but really it was born at the Hive. So the guidance that they gave us has been invaluable. The people that we have met, industry leaders, the mentors have been of tremendous help. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it also takes a whole community to help build a business. We have not done this on our own. And the fact that it's in Spanish, that serves oftentimes an underserved community, is of great help. My mother never went to school. My father went to 5th grade. So I come from the very communities. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Leticia Gamis. Yo quiero antes que nada dar las gracias por la oportunidad de permitirme expresar en mi idioma, en español, para la audiencia hispana. Mi Vegana Madre es una traila o carreta de comida móvil. Y realmente Mi Vegana Madre, como comentó mi esposo, nació en Hive, porque nosotros teníamos otro negocio planeado, y cuando empezamos nosotros el programa de Mapa para mi negocio, pues para nosotros más bien fue un GPS, porque la verdad es que estábamos perdidos, y el programa nos dio la oportunidad de enfocar lo que nosotros queríamos hacer a un negocio. Nació en Hive realmente, y desde entonces las puertas se nos han abierto. Fuimos parte de un concurso en el que quedamos en segundo lugar, en un pitch que hicimos, y ahora somos parte de esta reunión que nos permite a nosotros invitar a las personas que tengan negocios a participar en estos programas, que además, como dijo el mayor Stanton, son gratuitos, no cuestan nada. Para nosotros esto ha sido una oportunidad muy grande, y invitarlos a todos a que participen, a que sean curiosos. Realmente nosotros hemos conocido gente grandiosa. Aquí veo algunas caras conocidas, por ahí anda Eric, por ahí anda Tom de Fuerza Local, y aparte conocimos a Jessica, que es la que nos trae para arriba y para abajo, invitándonos en estos programas. Conocimos a Edgar Olivo, que es un gran consultor de negocios. De verdad, esperemos que sigan apoyando estos programas. Son muy importantes para la comunidad y especialmente para la comunidad hispana, que aunque hablamos un poco el inglés, para nosotros nos sentimos muy cómodos en nuestro idioma. Agradecemos mucho y a su equipo de trabajo. Muchas gracias de parte de mi vegana madre.
So I think I'm good now. I get emotional because this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I have grown up in the communities like Maryville, South Phoenix, high crime, and so the opportunities that have been presented to us in Spanish have been invaluable, particularly for my wife and other people that have participated at the Hive in the program. So thank you very much. Continue to support our community. If we flourish as a community of Spanish speakers, then we all flourish as a city and as a state. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. As we had said, the U.S. Conference of Mayors has a number of programs out there, and one of them is we have a small business task force providing mayors with best practices and resources information on how they can help their small businesses. We know that at the local level, it's the small businesses that can really generate and create a healthy economy. We also have our Partner America program, which is the Mayor's Small Business Program, which we're going to have Curtis Cello talk a little bit about. Curtis, would you mind coming up?
Good morning. Congratulations on your successes, and your stories were very interesting. Congratulations. And so as Jeff said, I'm part of the Partner America program, and just want to take a few minutes to leave you understanding what this program is, okay? It's actually been around for about 18 years. First of all, how many business owners other than these folks up here are there in the room? Okay, so good. Okay, so there's a few. And how many of you have heard of Partner America? You have? Okay, great. So I work for a company that's called American Management Services, and I'm the Director of Field Services. I have a team of people across the country. You actually have a dedicated person for this program. His name is Lee Carroll, standing in the back over there. Lee Carroll, okay. So we have about 10 to 15 people at any given time across the United States. You happen to have a dedicated person here in Phoenix, okay? So our program helps businesses that, it's not for startups, it's not for public companies, it's for kind of those hardworking Americans who employ most of the people in the United States that work hard and pay taxes and have employees that come to work and work hard as well. So we're talking the mechanical contractors, roofers, manufacturing companies, distributors, companies like that, okay? And we are a professional management services company. We're a turnaround consulting company. That's what we are. We were founded in Boston about 30 years ago, and we've been working with small to medium-sized privately owned companies, many of which are family-owned, for 30 years now. So we have a pretty good idea of what goes on in the business world, as well as what the challenges du jour are. And right now, finding good people is it. Anybody heard that problem? Okay, finding good people, okay? So before I forget, the owner of our company, George Cloutier, is a best-selling author, or he's the author of a best-selling book called Profits Aren't Everything. They're the only thing, and I got some complimentary copies up there if you want to grab some, okay? So about 18 years ago, the United States Conference of Mayors partnered with our company because they wanted business owners across the nation to be able to tap into some of the resources that we have, okay? So we're a for-profit company. We had nothing to do with the Conference of Mayors prior to the year 1999, and we formed a partnership with them. So since then, we've been helping mayors, and we've been helping business owners across the United States. So here's what we do. We help you tackle the biggest challenges that are standing in the way of growing your company profitably, okay? So like I said, Finding good people is the #1 issue right now. How many of you think that there's absolutely nobody who could do it better than you? Come on, most of you do, right? There's some truth to that, okay? So nobody knows your business the way that you do, but most likely, whatever the challenges you're facing, somebody else is facing that similar challenge, and somebody has figured out a way to get around it, to overcome it. So that's where we come in, right? So you name the issue, years ago it was gas prices, okay? Today it's finding good people, right? We help you manage through those problems. And we've seen best practices across the United States, and what we do is we work with the business owners. You can call our office anytime you like if you have questions, but we also send people out for a small enrollment fee to work with you for a couple weeks at a time, right? There's no obligation to ever hire our company. It's what we agreed to do to the conference for the Conference of Mayors. And so far, since the program has started, we've spoken to, or I should say met with, face-to-face, just over 51,000 businesses across the country, and we've worked with going on 9,000 businesses for, a week, 2 or 3 weeks, with those businesses trying to tackle their problems. So if you think this is something for you, come see us. We've never seen a problem, we've never run into a problem that we couldn't figure out a way to manage out of, okay? I don't know if I put that really clearly, but, we believe that you can manage your way out of just about any problem that's standing in the way of you being successful. Doesn't mean that we've got the silver bullet. It means that someone else has figured out a way to overcome that, and we try to bring that to you, okay? Any questions for me? Wonderful. Okay, well, I too am here for an extra day, and I love your weather, so thank you for your attention, and congratulations again, Mayor.
Thanks, Curtis. Again, I want to thank the mayor for all of his efforts, because if it wasn't for the mayor, I wouldn't be here in February. I'd be back in Washington, D.C. So it's great to be out here this time of year. And again, it's great to honor your mayor for all his work for small business, but also for his contributions that he does for the U.S. Conference of Mayors. I want to thank everybody for being here today. Congratulate the successful business owners and everything that's come before us. And hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.